he might as well pick the Aurelia for himself. He really likes that champion. And yeah, we don't really see any top lane bans at all here right now.
Super surprised by Lucian being banned. I know it's DoubleLift, I know he's a great Lucian player, but we have seen a lot of other AD carries rise up. Graves, Corki has been the #1 pick, Ezreal, Sivir as well. I think there's so many options which can do well against a Lucian at the moment, and after his nerfs here in 4.21 as well. I'm a little bit surprised it's banned.
I mean, I think DoubleLift's not very known as a Corki player. Like, he doesn't really like that poke-heavy AD caster. I mean, his Ezreal is like his champion, you know, and Vayne. But he's not very known for his Corki, so maybe I can see if ROccat did very good research that there might be a point banning Lucian, because Lucian is very good still.
We're gonna have to see. I mean, if DoubleLift cannot perform on anything else, sure, the ban would be justified. And Aurelia actually also was banned here in the end by CLG, so they are respecting Overpow and Jankos, the synergy they do have together.
I mean, LeBlanc, one of Link's best champions, arguably. He performed very good on it, and it's in the meta again. So yeah, I'm not surprised by the first pick Jarvan, because it's just the go-to pick.
Yeah, and on the other side, we will see the hovering over Corki. Corki that has played a massive role here in all of the tournaments already. Could possibly be a lock-in here.
I think they kind of
It should be.
Yep.
It should be. I think Corki Lissandra should be the lock-in right now.
Corki Lissandra, maybe a Janna if you want to, but the problem is when you play Janna against a Jarvan and potentially a Lissandra, when one person engage and you disengage, next guy follows up and suddenly you're stuck and you only have your one ulti to use in a team fight as Janna in this case. They don't actually take any of the supports, but Corki, for me, he's the #1 AD carry. Lock him in when you can. He's also good against Jarvan because, again, he has his jump. He can get out of Cataclysm. He just doesn't rely on having flash ready. And you don't really show much by picking Corki because he's just so good all around.
Yeah. Absolutely, and then also the Gnar lock-in for Overpow immediately.
It's good because Aurelia is banned, and we saw that Aurelia with Gnar doesn't really work out well for Gnar, because just he gets stunned and then follow up from Jarvan. So I really like the pickup of Gnar. It's a good adaptation, I think, by ROccat, that they realize, okay, Aurelia is banned, there's no threat actually, we can just pick Gnar and be fine.
And you can do the same with your jungler here. You can camp that Gnar lane, get him ahead early on, and we know how good he is in team fights. Like, people still seem to think he's just a lane bully and nothing else, and that is not the case. His laning phase is good, but it's more about his team fighting. Get the Mega Gnar in these team fights here, and you can basically 1v5, win the whole fight.
And then they're hovering over Rumble as a counter to that Gnar. And, you know, ZionSpartan is a beast. And then we also have Orianna lock-in for Link in that mid lane, safe.
I haven't seen much Rumble from Zion, actually.
No.
I think it's like his first Rumble game or something.
Yeah, he's normally very split push focused.
Very split push, yeah. The thing is with ZionSpartan, he was always very split push heavy, and his team fight was actually not that great. So actually seeing him on this champion is like a huge, like a whole new style, you know?
We can see those CLG are very clearly going full team fight focus right now. You have Jarvan as your main engage, you have Orianna with the ball, and of course the Rumble ulti here. I mean, a lot of synergy between these three champions. And you can do this double AP as well with AP mid laner, AP top laner, because Corki's already picked, so you're not going to go Corki. You can go for an Ezreal now if you want to and get the pure physical damage. Even a Sivir would actually work out
Orianna,
really well here from DoubleLift.
Yeah, Orianna just Link's go-to champion if he has to blind pick something. I don't think there's anything else that he would blind pick more than Orianna. It's his champion. It was always his go-to champion pretty much, and overall it doesn't give too much away, you know. You can still do a lot of stuff with their bot lane right now, and I'm pretty sure that
should go Sivir, to be honest. Sivir Janna would be a good option for them. You already, again, you have so much engage coming in from the Jarvan here. You have the Rumble. If you do get caught out by surprise, actually even a Morgana pick could work against the Elise and the Ahri. Thresh would be an option with the Lantern to save someone who is out of position, but I really think Sivir would be the best choice for you to carry.
We'll see, but in the meanwhile, on the other side, we see that Elise locked in again. Jankos just keeps going back to it seems.
Yeah, it's funny because I talked to him about it. He's like, I like Elise. I don't think she's the best anymore, but I just like her so much, and I'm so used to playing her that I'm just going to keep picking her. And I mean, she fits in super well with an Ahri here. You have to pick potential, land a Cocoon, land a Charm, and you can see ROccat is basically saying, we know you're going to have an absolutely insane team fight, so we're going to start looking for the picks instead and don't necessarily group 5 members.
Ooh, there we go.
Okay.
Vayne, Alistar bot lane. Well, it's a DoubleLift special, DoubleLift Aphromoo special.
Yeah, I mean, they showed synergy like Orianna and Alistar. They show how
we've seen it before.
We've seen it before. Like, they just lock it in. And Aphromoo is a type of player that just doesn't practice Alistar at all. But if he feels like it, he just locks it in. You know, it's give me Alistar.
And here's the thing: Vayne against the Corki in lane is actually not too bad. because it's super easy for you to dodge around the poke from Corki, especially the Q is even slower here in 4.21, the rockets as well. You can dance around it, and you can now have a passive lane with Alistar. You can even put a few skills in his E for the heal, and you just sit back and farm. And once you hit level 6, you can all in onto the Corki super easy with Vayne Alistar, and that could be really, really big for them. And obviously, you also have the cow now for this team fight to deliver the ball.
And on the other side, the hovering over to Janna, which would be good to disrupt some of those elements for the team fighting comp coming out of CLG.
We also have to mention that Vayne is very good for split pushing here in that game. I think she can be very good against Gnar, I think, in split push.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. And then
if Gnar ever jumps, you condemn him away, and there you go.
I mean, it's DoubleLift, you know, so you know that he's gonna split push for like 20 minutes, and then
CLG right now have two options. Either you go 5v5 team fighting, you have insane engage, massive AoE spike on 2 of your members with the Rumble, with the Orianna.
Yep.
Only problem is, I mean, also they could go for the split push with DoubleLift. The problem is here, they need the Vayne and the Orianna to scale up here. So they have Rumble for the mid game, which is going to be the security blanket, but then you need the Vayne and the Orianna to hit the late game, where ROccat has a massive mid-game power spike instead. Get a DFG on the Ahri, you have the Corki pick as well, and that's where ROccat needs to take the game, win it in the mid to early late game.
Yep, we will see how those two play out. We'll be back in 90 seconds with ROccat and CLG on the Rift. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters here in Cologne, Germany. I am Lee D-Man Smith, and I'm joined on my right by Mitch Vorspuls.
Crepo.
Or Crepo to you guys at home. Or you could give him the look if you want.
What the look?
I don't know. You're surprised.
Here we are, guys. Random camera cut.
And Saint Vicious, who was just like looking down, scratching his head.
I mean, I'm looking for my hair. I can't find it.
So, big game coming up. It is Counter Logic Gaming, their ex-team, across North America and Europe, different sides, up against ROccat, who coming into this one maybe as the favorite team to take the tournament. This is a big test for them, though.
Well, that's the word on the street. I mean, everybody's saying they're the team to beat. So, and CLG, haven't seen them in a while, so I don't know.
I mean, I have no secret info. At least Saint scrimming over in stateside, but I don't have anything. All I get is
You're
solo
scrimming
queue.
TSM though, aren't you? Not CLG?
We scrim CLG also a bunch of times.
Yeah, I heard you guys left early though.
Those are the bad times, all right? We're not talking about that.
So here they are on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. The new top laner, ZionSpartan, ThinkCard, the temporary jungler, Link in the mid lane. For now, we'll see how long that one lasts. And of course, DoubleLift and Aphromoo as the duo lane on Vayne and Aphromoo. Aphromoo on is literally on the cow.
On the cow, yeah.
On the cow.
I really like that they baited out the Janna because I feel... I'm not too big of a fan of the Janna pick, but it can punish Alistar Vayne really hard early, and that's what Saint was saying before we cut to this break, that they're probably going to 2v1.
Yeah, I mean, it's like telegraphed that they're going to 2v1. I really expect the ROccat to call this. They have to call this. Janna's a really good pick into Alistar, and Corki's a really big lane bully into Vayne. But if they end up just dodging that lane with the 2v1, then they'll be fine.
Well, we can see that they may well actually go for that late invade as they move on in. Deep warding, it's what we saw a bunch of yesterday from these teams. And it does seem that CLG want to get that information in the top lane. It is going to be the wards down, so.
They're losing their jungle though. Koki's walking in and just getting another deep ward because he knows he's safe. He saw everybody in the jungle.
And there's the deep ward we've got used to seeing, honestly, in that top lane. So Overpow's backing away instantly. It does seem that we're going to get Vander and Woolite heading towards the top lane. We'll see how CLG respond. Will they stick around?
Yeah, you saw the Janna and the Corki, they backed, and they're going to run across this ward that CLG put. This is like a pretty standard ward to spot a 2v1.
I think they're dodging it.
Yeah, there's ways to get around this. You can actually juke out that ward. You can like run by it, then like pour it back, or you can like run around it.
They're definitely spot. They're definitely spot.
And immediately, look at that, they're reacting. Aphromoo and DoubleLift heading straight down to the bottom lane. So they want the 2v1 lane. Ryu will show that one, though. And immediately, will they counter? No, they're happy to take the 2v1, it seems.
So one bad thing about this is the Vayne's going to get to the lane late. And in order for you to freeze effectively, you have to get into the lane really early and pile the wave. And she's not going to be able to do that, and neither is ROccat. So I'm actually really curious what they're going to be doing with their 2v1.
But you can see they're going to be getting closer to the level 2 early because they've gone for the Krugs, whereas DoubleLift Aphromoo not going to get a chance to do that.
Yeah, ROccat realizes that they're not going to be able to freeze that lane. If it doesn't freeze, you have to, in my opinion, push it quick. You know, fast push, keep hitting that turret until somebody shows up, and then you let the wave bounce back into a freeze. We saw a couple of teams do it really slowly and give the enemy top laner experience. I'm not too big a fan of that.
Overpow taunting DoubleLift there. That's interesting. We'll see how that one works out with the Gnar. How do we rate this? Because Rumble's always been a okay-ish 2v1, but Gnar, you know, you got that boomerang. That's a pretty good 2v1er.
I think if you 2v1 Gnar, you're even more reliant on your passive. You know, you need to become that big mega Gnar.
Whoa,
top lane,
exhaust already. ZionSpartan taken low. He will have to back away, and that's going to give a lot of free time for Woolite and Vander. We'll see what they do with it, see whether they shove it, whether they try and bounce quickly, or no, it's in a pretty good freeze position right now, actually. They don't need to bounce it off the turret.
Nah, I think it'll auto push, but they're in full control. They don't really care at this point. They'll deny a few low HP creeps and then shove it in.
I'm actually really curious where the Rumble's going to go in this. They're able to pressure a lot harder because they have 2 ranged champions in the top lane. That flash. They're actually able to pressure really hard because of that, and he's not able to walk up to the wave. Like, Rumble only has 1 CS, and he hasn't even been able to hit level 2 at all. Meanwhile, the Gnar is actually getting in range for experience because the Alistar can't actually go up to punish him without committing his abilities.
It looks like bot lane is freezing for CLG though, but yeah, Overpow is just fine lost sitting with those boomerangs. Yeah, he'll push in his wave a little bit, but right now, ROcCat's forced CLG to sacrifice his support, send it top lane, and I think this is ROcCat winning out for sure.
Yeah, and look at this though. Jankos is ready and waiting. That spider won't get spotted by the ward, nor will he. Now he will, but is it too late? That's the question. They see the 2 in there. Now Jankos is going to come around. Will he just juke around? The cocoon throws out, does land on ZionSpartan, but they don't follow through with the damage. But this in turn is going to give Overpow all the point in the world. You can see immediately he's shoved straight up the lane. He's happy to push on DoubleLift now.
I think if that was any other support that walked up there, if that was like a Janna or a Sona or a Thresh, they would have dove him instantly.
He's in trouble.
The Alistar is just way too dangerous to dive.
Yeah, I think a really good read from Aphromoo. He did exactly what was needed for his team. He couldn't really zone Gnar on the bot lane, and he had to prevent the dive. No flash on Rumble. If that dive worked,
that's
CLG would have been a really
pretty obvious DoubleLift there. He's just literally kited all the minions around the corner, so making it fairly obvious. Woolite taking some damage in the top there. ThinkCard still sticking around in this river bush area, but I'm pretty sure Overpow knows it. Yeah, there we go. Throws the boomerang, checks it out there. The thing with Gnar, even in the 2v1, he's actually got really good escapes because he can bounce, he can flash, obviously, as well. So he's going to be tricky to pin down for ThinkCard.
Yeah, but the big thing to point out in this is the whole goal of the 2v1 is to deny the top laner any kind of farm. It doesn't really matter too much about the AD carry and support. It's how hard you can keep down the top laner. And you look here, they're pretty evenly matched in CS and farming, so I don't really think they're going to be getting too much out of punishing the top laner in the 2v1. It's more, but the Vayne is going to be able to dodge the 2v1 or dodge the 2v2 matchup in the lane.
If ROcCat keeps pushing, they have to dive because they're constantly feeding about half of the CS every wave onto that Alistar Rumble combo, and Alistar has to stay. He has Relic Shield. He can put a couple points in heal. They have to force him off the tower somehow.
Oh, they're going to try and push in. Aphromoo going to take a cocoon. Actually gets taken very low here. Could be enough. Will they repel straight for it? Doesn't matter. It will be first blood. It went to Vander. Not ideal, but it's good enough. ZionSpartan chasing, overheating actually. Now ThinkCard's caught out Woolite. Can Valkyrie flash across actually? Valkyrie is still available if he wants to get away. Is it up though? Has he got the mana to try and do this one? This could go very well for CLG. Are they going to try and kite the damage? ThinkCard taking low. He gets dropped. The teleport comes in. Still ZionSpartan gets himself one. But look at that. Overpow hop, skips and a jump straight in. Ryu joins the party, and it's a 3-for-1 to ROcCat.
Ironically, the Korean mid laner shows up first. Better communication there.
But that's a really great reaction by them. They knew Alistar, he used his combo, and the moment they saw that, like, all right, like, there's nothing that can punish us for doing this dive. And Elise can always just drop the tower aggro and reset it with their repel, and they just went in on it, committed fully to it, and just came out great for them.
Yeah, I like the reaction on both teams. I mean, CLG, they knew, okay, we lost a dive, but then ZionSpartan went super aggro because Rumble in a 1v3 with low HP is strong. But here comes Overpow.
Well, he's going aggressive on towards ZionSpartan. Of course, he has got that little extra spell, but ZionSpartan still comes out pretty well. Bottom lane was shoved heavily in by DoubleLift, and look at this link. Oh, he just gets spotted by that ward. Vander, good job checking that one, but there is 4 members of CLG stacking in on this bottom turret. They want to try and push it.
Now this is smart. Whenever you stack a wave, you want to either get the tower or deny the CS behind the tower and zone people off. ROccat did that on top lane. They pushed in the wave, they send up the jungle. CLG sees the wave stacking on bot lane, they send their people there. So smart play by both teams so far.
And also because Ryu, he roamed top, that means that Link was able to push up the mid wave.
Whoa, shockwave, that's onto Woolite, but actually there's no lot of damage. Aphromoo taking it, that's how it's going to hit him. And Vander gets the kill. That's a disastrous play by CLG. While this is all happening, there's a lot of pushing power on that mid lane turret as well. And Woolite and Vander have done enough. Ryu kiting down. Is he going to catch them out coming out of this river? You do see ThinkCard's caught out. The Zephyr's on him, so he's going to be slow. Ryu's going to be how to get into this one. Has he got the flash? Ooh. Doesn't get the charm down. I don't think they're going to get enough to finish that off. But that middle turret, that's going to be very low as well. So ROccat, they're gaining everything so far.
Yeah, the jungler is only level 4 right now. If that Ahri actually came anywhere near him, she would have just instantly blew him up. He's lucky to get out alive on that.
Yeah, I think CLG is doing some decent moves, but they're about like 2 or 3 seconds too slow every time, and ROcCat's just in position to counter. And yeah, they just realized they can turn on Aphromoo there. He goes with a beautiful like cow ball combo that he did so many times in LCS, but it was too little damage and they turned it around beautifully.
Yeah, it looked a little out of sync too. And had DoubleLift bought already when that happened? I don't think he bought.
No, he was still stuck on the Doran's.
Yeah, just sitting on a Doran's blade, which is, I mean, Vayne's a strong champion, has a strong ultimate with steroids, but not going to be enough damage.
Well, Woolite's playing far up the lane. He's not going to get caught out though. He's back to wait. Aphromoo was taking a peek from the tri-bush along with ThinkCard. So blue buff has now been gifted across to Ryu. That's first 7 minutes seems to have gone so fast in this game. Already seeing 5 kills go down. And Ryu in this mid. He's got the slight farm advantage. Of course, DoubleLift, we saw this lane swaps, has got that giant CS lead building up over Woolite from that initial start. That's because he was left alone to farm. But how much will it count? Not too sure. You want a Vayne to be left alone. He wants to get that farm. That's an important part of a Vayne in the early levels.
Yeah, I really think CLG is going to look for a timing where Rumble has his ultimate up, Orianna is close to level 11, and the Borg hits on the Vayne, and that's when they peak really hard. For a while, they're still stagnant. That's when they need to look for a dragon fight or just an objective siege tower, something they can surprise ROccat with, because ROccat, they like these small skirmishes, but I think in a full-on 5v5 team fight, CLG is going to come out on top.
Yeah, ROcat's entire team count's built around that. Elise and Ahri, perfect for catching people out and vision controlling and just getting picks everywhere around the mid lane. And the roaming is just really hurting CLG. Not really. I don't really know any like opportunities that CLG is going to be able to use this Vayne though.
Look at Ryu. Straight away, needlessly large rod. No messing around. None of this Athene's Holy Grail stuff. It's going just like Febiven actually did the other day. Yeah.
Probably just going to rest DFG, try to one-shot DoubleLift. I mean, that's smart.
DoubleLift taking a lot of damage already, and look at it. Ryu's already making tracks. He's heading down here. That's a good ultimate. Monsoon blown Aphromoo in, but unfortunately hadn't done any damage. But they're going to run headlong. Tri-bush is going to catch him out. Aphromoo almost certainly will go down here. Question is, will they dive DoubleLift on the tower?
And this was extremely smart play by ROccat. The second Woolite entered his own turret range, he turned around and he started trading. Aphromoo could not combo, because if he uses his combo in one go, doesn't separate the spells for maximum peel, he will eat a lot of tower shots, they will win the trade. Vander positions himself in front of Aphromoo when he finally goes in and blows him into the tower, and this is just, ROccat's bot lane is just outplaying them here.
Yeah, on top of that, the Janna was level 6 and Aphromoo was only level 5.
Yeah.
That was kind of a weird engage going on.
Yep. Because he's got the 3 deaths. He's been losing out on the experience, been trying to cover off the top and the bottom lane. And now first dragon goes to ROccat. Middle tower was also covered off. CLG tried to make a little concerted effort to push onto that one, but Ryu cut them off as well. Overpow in the top lane also. Gonna have a visitor, ThinkCard. He wants to make one of these ganks work out, but Overpow's going to be very tricky to pin down. No flash on him. ZionSpartan close to overheating. He has got that equalizer ready and waiting, so he just needs to bait Overpow into going aggressive.
Yeah, and ThinkCard's actually taking one out of Meteos' book, and he's rushing the Juggernaut version of the jungle item rather than the Warrior, which we've seen on a lot of the Jarvans in this tournament.
Yeah, he just wants to get tanky so he can soak up damage for his team. It's a really tricky spot for CLG to be in once ROccat starts pushing all lanes and you have an aggressive jungler like Jankos. Look at the vision control. They still have those 2 pings set up, 2 more green wards in the river. At any given moment, once the lanes start pushing, they can just move into the jungle, ward that up, and that's when you start getting picked off, you know, when you have to move in between the lanes to stop the rotations. And let's see if ROccat can pull that off.
Look at the farm too. The Jankos he has almost double his farm already, and I'm actually curious if he's going to rush Locket before even finishing his Juggernaut, which would be really good against their team. And they have Rumble and Orianna. Like, if you got the really early Locket, you can mitigate a lot of that damage, and it'd be great for an early team fight.
And a lot of that's lane farm as well, because he covered off the mid lane while all the fight was going on the bottom lane. He was just sitting there in the mid, absorbing, I think, 2 or 3 waves of minions and pushing the tower. So a lot of gold stacking up, which is why you can see the differential on him right now, about 500 gold between the two. ROccat, of course, did just lose his bottom turret, though, so CLG have the first turret of the game. That's kept them closer in gold, but this one is almost certainly going to fall. Question is, where will CLG respond? Look at ThinkCard. Some deep, deep wards in the top half of that jungle.
All right, so this play that CLG is about to do, this is actually like an old SKT play when Piglet would play a lot of Vayne. They would reach the power spike where, you know, you have a couple levels on Vayne, and then they would, after you take the first turret, you rotate them to top lane, and then you just end up diving with your top laner just because it's such a huge damage spike.
Ryu fancied it. You talked about ThinkCard when he was level 4. He could just get destroyed by that by Ryu in that mid lane. Oh, Overpow actually just turned into the Mega Gnar. Is this deep enough though? Gets the slam on DoubleLift. He's tanking out the turret damage. Good job, because ZionSpartan would have gone down. He's going to turn back around. Good flash away. Is it enough? He's going to Miminize back down in a moment. Hasn't quite got the tower damage down. Nobody's following up, but ROccat is still pushing down the bottom lane. They've taken the inner. They're onto the inner turret.
Yeah, CLG's making good plays. Really good read there, what Saint said there. Exactly what happened, so we can call him the prophet from now on. But ROccat always has an answer ready, you know? CLG makes a move, good move, solid move. They adapt, you know, they stall the def as long as they can. And meanwhile, on the bot lane, turret dies, and they're losing so much ground. The entire red jungle is being warded by ROccat right now.
Yeah, but this whole time, DoubleLift's been just soaking up all the farm, all the experience, and he's been splitting off on his own, just like we thought he would in traditional DoubleLift style. I mean, it's really going to be on him to carry this game, and the rest of his team's just going to be setting up the plays for him, like setting up the zoning ultimate, setting up the AoE damage to get everybody low for DoubleLift to carry this game.
Who'd have thought? CLG, protect the AD carry. Who would have thought?
Where's Choster at?
Yeah. This is like Season 1 all over again. Didn't work out too well for them, and DoubleLift, you know, he's chasing his first ever tournament win. That's what he wants, you know. I said, yes, Z, what have you ever won? He's like, I'll tell you on Sunday. And it's like, so they're feeling confident coming into this one, but then again, when's DoubleLift not confident? That's for sure. He is farming up, but he's not exactly getting that far ahead of Woolite. And if you were to look, obviously, the fact that he's got a kill and 4 assists, Woolite, he is ahead on gold. Triforce now completed.
It's a big power spike for Woolite right now, and we have some really good items finished here. The Gnar finishes Hex Drinker, so he can go have a fight. We're waiting on Rio to finish his DFG here, and then he needs to make something happen, because if he doesn't make something happen with that aggressive item build, it could have been better in the long term to play defensive.
Vander's going to face check. Oh, leads it with the Howling Gale. ThinkCard caught out. They're in a 3v3. Is it going to be enough? Woolite focuses on DoubleLift, and as we talked about the power spike, he's got that Triforce complete. DoubleLift only got a single Bilgewater Cutlass. They're going to jump straight on him. DoubleLift tries to run away. Rio cleans up at the back. What a surprise. In comes the Korean, and he gets himself on towards Link now. Link taken low. Shockwave catches 3, but it's not enough as Ryu gets himself the double kill, and they go for the blue buff.
I have no idea what happened to ZionSpartan there. He was completely stuck in the middle of nowhere, and it never even like joined that fight at all.
Yeah, it looked like he dropped his ult, and he just ended up getting zoned out of the team fight, and he tried to go around the long way. And he can't exactly run straight into Ryu, who is pretty strong at this point, so DoubleLift just got caught out in the back and just got popped.
Well, as it is, blue buff picked up. Top turret going to go down. ROccat getting their 4th turret of the game. And you know, we were talking about it, like, DoubleLift had the cash, obviously, for the... or has he? He's gone back. He actually didn't have the cash to complete that Blade of the Rune King. So while Triforce was picked up by Woolite, so it's actually a giant advantage for ROccat right now in terms of power. 6,000 gold tells that story completely. And DoubleLift, he just needs to keep farming.
They hit their power spike, immediately go for a fight with the items before DoubleLift can get the Blade of the Rune King. And the way Woolite played it really impressed me. He just Valkyried forward. He knew his team would keep the guys stuck behind them busy. And he knew if he survived long enough, Ryu would close the gap through the river, and they just picked off DoubleLift. It doesn't matter if one of them ends up dying. DoubleLift is worth at least one of your lives if you can trade him for 1-for-1. Your team will clean up for ROccat, and they're just playing super solid right now.
That's impressive trust to have on a Korean mid laner that barely speaks English.
Well, he did 1v1 Faker a lot, so...
He's been playing great this game, too. He's been actually roaming ahead of Link, and he's been everywhere on the map. He's been playing really great.
Went for that DFG early. And we'll see how it works out for him at the moment. He's picked up 2 kills and see if he starts blowing people up.
Vander's feeling a little confident here. 3-0 and 5. He says, yeah, well, I'm just going to keep going like that and I'll buy Mage get 20 stacks.
We saw Cutie Pie do it yesterday. The
Cutie Kid. The monster.
Yeah, Kiwi Kid doing it yesterday, and it worked out well for him. In fact, every Janna we've seen so far that has gone for that early item on the Soul Stealer, it kind of has worked out because you're playing fairly passively as a Janna.
I spoke with Alan about that, and he basically said, Mage Ice gives me an incentive not to die, so I play a lot more careful. It's actually really good. I really need to buy that item to stop dying all the time. And yeah, maybe it works for you.
305 is working well for him so far. Second dragon of the game goes to ROccat. And I was about to say Dignitas. CLG looking to respond. ZionSpartan, while he has got 2-1-0, has had a fairly quiet game at the moment, of course, was picked on early. CLG trying to hope they can flank around and catch something out here. And instead, wow, Woolite so aggressive. This is the big difference with ROccat. They had Selavar last year, and while he's a good AD carry, he's also a passive AD carry. And Woolite's completely different. He will be headlong in your face. You know, it's like the old Ezreal. It's like, which way do you use the Arcane Shift, to get away or to go aggressive? He's using Valkyrie to go straight in their faces.
And CLG is stuck in a really odd place here. They needed to land both Rumble and Orianna ulti to win before the enemy team gets too much magic resistance. Yeah, DoubleLift put a timer on that. He was roaming on top, but he's cutting down right now.
Yeah, he's actually going to try to get a flank here. He has the Blade of the Rune King. He has his Power Spike, but looks like ROccat don't want to do this fight. They're just going to pack off, make him come down from top, make him stop split pushing, getting that farm.
They've got a big minion wave in the bottom that's going to build up. They can defend this one off. There you go. Look, the waves just got wiped out straight away. And they're leaving Overpow at the top to farm. DoubleLift gets caught out, taken low. They're going to try and blow him up. He has to pop that ultimate to get away from this one. Aphromoo caught out. Shockwave pulls in Woolite and Boreu. Is it going to be enough? Equalizer from ZionSpartan. Tries to catch onto them. I can't even speak. But Woolite gets himself the kill nonetheless. And that was a 4v5. Yeah, Ryu was not even there. He's just Overpow just made his way down from the top.
I just like what ROcat's doing in terms of wave control. They push in bottom all the way. They don't linger anymore. They know they're not getting that tower. They'll base, deal with the wave that double set up, and then at one point, if CLG is too slow to react, they'll have 2 waves pushing on them, and that means ROccat can siege mid, look for a pick. And I think they were even lucky there that they just got a pick even quicker than they thought they would. They just landed a cocoon on DoubleLift, completely caught out.
And not only did they end up getting the kill in mid, I think CLG lost maybe like 3 waves worth of experience and gold in the bot lane. So yeah, just a great wave manipulation out of them. And it seems like they understand, their rotations are just on point. And then this is actually one of the first games that I've really seen teams rotating around. You saw ROccat yesterday.
That's not going to quite work out for you, Aphromoo, buddy. Just used the ultimate a moment. I thought he could try and catch someone as they all backed, but instead he caught 3 of them.
All right, but yeah, ROccat yesterday, they just did standard lanes where they just head-to-head played against the team. They didn't really show any other strategy, like, hey, you know, like, this is how we're going to beat that. We don't have to show that we can actually 2v1. CLG went into the game with the mindset they're going to 2v1, and they just got outplayed in the lane swap.
It's a sign of a great team when the gold lead gradually gets bigger and bigger, more than what they take. You know, they take a tower, yeah, sure, that's worth maybe 1,000 gold, but the gold lead is exceeding that. Every time they take an objective, they punish CLG a little more in some of the things you don't directly see, like a couple of minions here and there, a dragon here and there, blowing some summoners, and yeah, they're definitely on top of their game.
It's an 1,800 gold lead right now for Woolite over DoubleLift. And as well, the jungle's a big gap as well, building up between the two. 1,500, 1,600 between those two. DoubleLift pushing on his own. And Vander already looking to cut him off. Woolite coming down, Ryu coming to cut him off. I'm not sure he's going to get away with from this one. The speed that Vander has. The Zephyr lands. In comes Woolite straight away. Being delicate, but unsure of what exactly is in the bush. There is the cow. Is it enough? They knock him up. Woolite the focus. Teleport comes in. They're going to keep on to DoubleLift, but quickly ThinkCard comes around. Ryu does manage to get himself on there. Flashes away from this one. ThinkCard exhausted. Ryu taking low. The equalizer coming out from ZionSpartan. Not quite enough to take him down. ThinkCard taking low at the side there. Woolite does get cut off by ZionSpartan. ThinkCard slides in. Gets onto Ryu. And now Vander's all on his own. Overpow off on the side. He gets himself a kill on towards ZionSpartan. But in comes Jankos. Oh, great cocoon lands on Aphromoo. His ultimate has run out already. Shockwave will delay things. It will keep them away, but it was another 3 for 2 going ROcat's way.
Yeah, Lynx keeps hitting these really great Orianna ultis. He hits 3-man, 4-man Orianna ultis, 2-man, like just nailing people with them, but he just doesn't have the AP to back it up, and there's just nothing coming out of this.
It's too late as well. By the time he lands it, Double's already dead. I really like some of the small like mechanical outplays ROccat did that fight. Vander flash shielding, Rio just staying on the edge of battle. He knows he might die, but like his team will clean up. Good turnaround by ThinkCard as well. He almost got outplayed there by getting the random shield in, but turnaround went for the kill. But yeah, ROcat's just too strong right now. It's super hard for CLG to fight back like this.
Yeah, they just need to try to keep their team split out and just try not to fight as much as possible. Try to get their carries like ahead and try to get the Orianna some farm on her. She needs Void Staff at this point because they're about to have Locket. Well, actually, they have Locket already. Yeah, Locket against double AP when you have no Void Staff is just... It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, it makes the Rumble build really awkward, you know. He hits a power spike with the double magic pen items, magic pen on runes, but the more they stack, you know, the less powerful it becomes, and the harder it is to kill them.
Oh, ThinkCard just spotting out. Vander actually getting dangerously aggressive there with just placing their wards. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ryu is actually hunting out ZionSpartan as well and following up that wave. So actually they're starting to cover off. You can see the wards in the bottom half of the map as well. 2 pink wards down there. And Ryu will wipe that wave out. So there's going to be a wave crashing against the inhibitor turret, which is again going to give CLG a problem. Do they go down, cover off that wave, or do they try and go for a gank? It looks like Aphromoo wants to set up for something, but they're not taking it. They're going the long way around. They're quite happy to take this, and CLG are just losing out on a valuable experience.
Yeah, ROcat's so smart here. They know that Rumble doesn't have his TP up, so they're like, okay, whatever. If you like want to sit in there and try to get a pick, like we're just gonna keep pushing down here. And you can just sit up there in that bush all day, and we're just gonna take damage on your turret. You're gonna miss this wave. You're just gonna keep falling further and further behind.
Yeah, ROccat keeps like shooting off questions to CLG, waits for them to answer them, and then makes a play. A lot of teams do the right thing, you know, they recognize the split push, but then when everybody disappears, they get a little greedy, you know, like I'll ward a little deeper all of a sudden, but they're not rushing too much, and they're definitely playing the right pace to close out this game.
They're moving in force to this top turret. And I think ROccat going to be on it before CLG can react. That's going to be enough damage, enough of a wave that will keep them away. Half the damage down already. And that's giving Ryu all the free time in the bottom tower. And that inhibitor turret's going to go down. There's nothing they can do. They've already used the equalizer. ZionSpartan's already come down to try and deal with it. That wave will get cleared out, but the next one's soldiering on through. They're going to continue to react, but now the inner turret's going because they've had to react.
A lot of respect for CLG though. Every time the ball gets put on Aphromoo, you should watch how the enemy team just plays. They back off immediately, especially with Ahri pushing on bottom. It makes the players almost like too telegraphed.
Well, they knew that Rumble also didn't have ultimate because he used to clear the bot wave, so they're like playing up into them, but just enough to where just safe.
Keep him busy.
Yeah, keep him busy and let Ryu just keep slow pushing, and he's just going to take that turret eventually. And I don't think DoubleLift can take him 1v1. Ahri with the DFG is a little bit scary.
Even if he can, the 4v4 just gets lost on the other side of the map.
Still sticking around. He is stood on top of wards, so CLG might try and set something up. Look at Link. He's coming around the side there. No, Ryu's shot early. Didn't try and land the charm. And this, of course, will give the third dragon of the game to ROccat for free. No doubt about it. ROccat in full control of this matchup as they continue to hold a 9,000 gold lead over CLG in this first match.
They're running out of objectives though. They'll have to look at Baron soon to make the next play.
Well, yeah, they don't really have much armor either outside of Gnar, so
they've just pinged it. They've just pinged what they're doing. That bottom turret's got about 200-300 hit points on it max, the inhibitor turret, so all they need to do is push that big wave up the top that's going to build up and then just shove them down, just like they did a moment ago. And they have the vision control already. They already have the wards down, so it's all working in their favor.
So one thing I want to point out, in these kind of lane swap situations where you're getting deep wards, the jungler just gets left out high and dry. Because if you're the enemy team and you're going into the enemy's jungle and for farming all his camps, like where's ThinkCard going to farm in this situation? He's going to slowly fall further and further behind, and he's going to basically fall off like a dead limb. He's going to like shrivel up and fall off.
I think if you ask politely, DoubleLift will split the farm.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know about that one. Don't hold your breath.
Just ask Dexter about that one on the analyst desk in a minute.
Got to buy a relic, Targons, etc. just to share that sweet CS.
Next thing you're going to see, Targons on the jungler next game. I cannot wait.
So, Baron started off here. Scuttle Crab was picked up by ROccat. Aphromoo going to try and get a view of it, but look at him. He's so delicately trying to work his way in there. The rest of CLG are responding. Also, DoubleLift on the bottom is being tracked by Ryu as well. There's going to be the Howling Gale to heal off. This is still only a half hit point Baron so far. Aphromoo's going to get close. They've got the ward in, so they can see that it's happening. Are they going to react instead? No, they're just trying to shove all the waves. DoubleLift, he wants to get this bottom turret, but Ryu is laying in wait. The Baron's about to go their way. There it is, picked up. Now he's going to go for it, surely. Baron picked up, straight in towards it. DFG goes down. DoubleLift just gets annihilated. All too easy for Ryu. Woolite calls out, gets it down. ZionSpartan gets in there. It's 2 kills picked up for ROccat, but I didn't see what happened there. It was Link that got caught out, but ThinkCard, well, he managed to finally get in and get one. So the AD carries without the Baron, but that's a little loss, really, when the Baron buff's just gone across to ROccat.
Yeah, definitely here. Like, ROccat is just playing so smart. You know, any other team might just put 5 mans on Baron. Like, you definitely secure that Baron. CLG does the right thing. You know, they're not going to face check. Aphromoo is just watching around. You know, can I get a ward in? Can I get the timer? We'll send double bottom, maybe trade a tower. But Rio's just lying away, and immediately Woolite crosses over. He knows people might collapse on Rio. And yeah, 2 for 1, good trade. They don't care about the Baron buff. The minions will do the work for them.
Oh, well, here it is. It just looks like, yeah, Woolite, Valken in. You said he's a really aggressive AD carry. He's like, I don't care like how many people are here. Like, I'm just gonna take you with me.
Oh, still got the shot. If it wasn't for ZionSpartan being there, he may well have actually been able to lifesteal his way through ThinkCard there.
Oh, yeah, he actually had a BT there.
Yeah, so it turns out that luckily ZionSpartan's equalizer was on point, gets himself the 4th kill of the game. He is doing okay on Rumble, honestly. You know, we were talking about the fact that this is possibly his first professional game, I guess you could say. It's always tricky, and I know everybody watching always goes, well, if you'll be playing in solo queue or scrims, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a different thing when you're actually playing it against a professional setup.
Yeah, definitely. And for your support mains out there, 8 stacks on Vander right now, 12 more to go, and he wants that sweet AP to get those Janna shields buffed up.
Well, Inhibitor going down. First one of the game for ROccat. Absolutely will not be the last, I don't think. You can see they got that middle wave already stacking up. Overpow's already gone to collect that one, and that's going to be pushing to follow through. Top lane is not going to put pressure on them, though, so this should be relatively easy for CLG to defend off the next one, despite the fact they have got the Baron.
And this is an annoying game to lose. You know, you can lose some games that are really close, and you'll be like, okay, fine, we made one mistake, but next time we'll get them. But the way they've been, like, punished for every single play by ROccat might get into their head, and I wonder if CLG can bounce back mentality-wise. Alono.
Yeah, it looks like they broke their mental. I mean, they just got completely outplayed in the 2v1.
There's the tower going down. Aphromoo, good shockwave pulls in 4 members of ROccat, but again, no damage to follow it up. Vander's the only target they focus on. It doesn't matter. Ryu comes in. He gets caught on towards the ledge there. Nicely done by DoubleLift. Can he clean up here? He gets himself 1. Can he get a second? But Overpow comes in and just slams him against the wall. DoubleLift getting taken low. Nobody's going to be able to support him. He flashes back across. CLG hold on for now. It was a 2 for 2. Very tight fight for a bound up ROccat.
It was actually a really great Orianna ulti, and they used all their abilities great to just peel for DoubleLift. He had free damage on the Ahri. She had no abilities left. She just got picked off for free. I think Ryu was a little bit over-aggressive on that, and they paid the price for it.
Yeah, definitely really solid play. I think the fight couldn't go any better at all for CLG there. They played pretty much perfect. DoubleLift immediately just flashes in and then gets Janna ultied out and just keeps playing. Ryu walks forward, forgets about Condemn, dodges a charm, DoubleLift as well, and yeah, Link's out of mana here sadly. Imagine if he had a little more mana, that could have turned the tides.
It absolutely. There was 3 of them still stacked up at the end there as well, so it could easily have been a quick wipe up, and you know, they may have been able to shove off. You know, see that big giant top wave, they could have gone up there quickly to deal with it. Instead, as it was, Overpow quickly teleports to the top and covers off and clears out that entire wave. So yeah, it just, again, this is just down to those little things in the game that you think, if we'd have just done this,
took the
maybe,
tower as well.
Yeah.
Inhib's open, like they can just walk up, take that inhibitor, then set up straight. If they're getting afraid for some reason, all I need to do is wait, get the next dragon, get the next baron, maybe get dragon number 5 and just completely stomp this game.
Yeah, they're actually getting pretty close to dragon number 5. Dragon number 4 is spawning. They're gonna grab that up probably pretty quick after they stack up this mid inhib, but they don't just run CLG's team over. So this is looking a little grim for CLG.
I love that derpy picture of Piglet. Lieutenant Dan. But
What?
Forrest Gump, man.
Okay.
Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah, I know Lieutenant
Come on, man. You're a Navy boy.
Forrest Gump,
You should know
Forrest
this
Gump.
sort of
I know
thing.
that, I
Yeah,
know that.
goddamn. So, ROccat take themselves the inhibitor in the mid lane. Now they can back away, take that dragon. It would be the 4th dragon of the game, and actually it's got to the point where Jankos and Woolite can easily just tank this one down. That's just stacking up now. This is they're getting dangerously close to that 5th stack already.
This is what I really like about the new preseason. Like, if teams decide to turtle, you can put them on a timer with the new mechanics. Like the way to break up the base, splitting is a little better now with the new Baron buff because you can amp up more creeps. Banner of Command's coming back. You can set your own split push, build your own split push if you're a support, and then the dragons. You know, 5 dragons will absolutely win you a team fight.
I actually think that Janna's probably building towards the Banner of Command. She has a null magic mantle. Can't really fit any other items in there. That's the mystery item.
Did it yesterday, didn't he?
No, it's gotta be Banner Command. Yes, he did. He did do it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a timer on the game now. It's about 5 minutes out, and that's the 5th dragon.
Woolite going to get caught out here. Look at this. 3 members of CLG Lightning Wave. ThinkCard got spotted, but he didn't see the rest of them. Actually, his Ryu walked straight in. That's a good catch by CLG. Can they get anything more from it? Woolite has to be the target, but ROccat quickly reacting. ThinkCard taken solo by Overpow. Gets quickly extinguished. And now ROccat. It was a good setup. That's all they needed to do. They have to make those plays. But they couldn't get more from it.
Are you serious? Woolite just calmly farming his way up there, and he just spots a Jarvan in the bush. And his reaction? Yeah, I'll keep farming. I'll see who else pops out.
It was lucky as well, because it was just like, I'm going to phosphor bomb the minion wave. Oh, yeah. I just spotted a jungler.
He sees the tip of the brush. There's a Jarvan in there, out of all people. He must not be alone. Woolite doesn't care. I'll take another creep here and just wait for Ryu to get like sacrificed or volunteer as tribute.
Oh, but he knew Vayne was farming the bottom, so he must not been too scared.
Oh, no shockwave for Link this time around to try and keep them at bay. That's a good catch, so Vander taken low. He gets cut out. That's going to be 1 for DoubleLift. Can he chase on towards him? Jankos low. Good equalizer going down. Will get him towards the second. Jankos flashes away. Woolite will get picked off. DoubleLift on that one. Link will get the kill. This is good timing. The Baron is up in 40 seconds, but you can see the death timers. It will mean ROccat are back just in time, and there's super minions into their base.
Aphromoo is such a smart support. You know, Elise repels and he just immediately moves on to the next target, combos him, DoubleLift kills that off, and then makes the chase for the next one. Instead of waiting for the repel, wasting so much time, he's just constantly looking for people to CC that DoubleLift can just blow up.
Yeah, Aphromoo actually, he's a really amazing Alistar. He's probably one of the best Alistar players that I've ever played against or with. And I think if some of the early game didn't go so bad, you could have actually seen some really great plays out of the two of them, the DoubleLift and Aphromoo combo.
You never did get to play against Mad Life, did you?
Well, I mean, I played against Mad Life, but not with the Alistar.
Not with the Alistar.
I just had the thresh hook just straight up in me. That's all I got. Just the tip, okay?
Everybody's had that from Mad Life.
I didn't have the honor of the Alistar horns.
When I played against Mad Life, Thresh wasn't even out yet. He just schooled me on Soraka. Good old days.
You got the banana.
I got banana.
You did good on the Leona, Matt.
Yeah.
You were 2-0 up at one point.
Yeah. This game, CLG is fighting.
It's still raw point. I mean, that was the moment, man.
We're just reminiscing about getting dumpstered by Mad Life. It was just perfect. But anyways, the inhibitors are actually coming back up now, so CLG can have a little bit better control in this game, and maybe if they can vision control around Baron, they'll be okay. But you got to remember, that Dragon is also coming up, and that's a lot less of a risky objective for ROccat to go for, and I don't see CLG winning a team.
Yeah, all these fights are beautifully engaged by CLG, but there have been also ROccat overstanding just a little bit.
It didn't work! That was the Aphromoo ball. Didn't quite work out, and instead Link gets just obliterated where he stands. ThinkCard comes in. They're going to try and focus on him. Instead, it's DoubleLift. Look at that. Ryu didn't even care about the jungler. Went straight in for DoubleLift. DoubleLift gets taken down. Both carries now split off. ThinkCard running for his life. The rest of ROccat don't really care. They're going for the finish.
Yeah, it's actually such a high mechanical play to do, the flash headbutt pulverize into the ball combo, and it's really easy to mess it up. I mean, people probably on Twitch are like, idiot, you can't do that, but it's really, really hard to do, and I mean, you're going to mess it up sometimes, and that's what it looks like when you mess it up.
They had to go for it, yo.
Is he going to find him? He found him.
He's running dodge runes.
Yeah, the poison rage running dodge runes. Damn you, ThinkCard. Where's the scripts? Bottom lane, Nexus turret goes down. They're going to take the bottom inhibitor. They're going to do it by the numbers, it seems. Keep those minion wave going in. He's still sticking to him, Jankos. He's not letting ThinkCard go. You can't repel over there, buddy.
Well, he's actually running right into the Corki. I don't think he wants to go that way.
Well, Corki's continuing. Woolite takes down the turret. They're not letting him back. The rest of CLG are starting to respawn, but they've got no base left. Aphromoo going in. He's got no ultimate to survive that sort of damage, and it will be a clean pickup for Overpow. Woolite on towards DoubleLift. I think ROccat will back away, but they've decimated the CLG base now. There's not a lot they can do now. They're hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, 1 minute 30 rather for the Dragon to come up, and then the game's pretty much over. As I was saying earlier, before CLG went for that play, they had to go for the Hail Mary, because all the fights so far CLG has won. ROccat has overextended a little bit. CLG has punished. If ROccat is defending an objective like Dragon, and they know how hungry CLG is to cancel them, they have absolutely no chance. So that was the correct play. Sadly, improper execution, but it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, now Dragon's going to be coming up 1 minute. Baron's up. CLG has to deal with that bottom wave that's going to be coming in. I mean, they have to send somebody for it. Rumble does have TP, but I think the fight's going to be over by the time he actually does TP in. So CLG are going to be in a really rough spot unless they can pull out a miracle play.
DoubleLift's going to have to clear out that bottom super minion wave. They're going to get the middle turret, it seems, CLG here. I think they may be able to get just quickly enough onto it and then get the hell out of there before ROccat do close in on them. There we go. So they get their third turret, outer turret of the game. There is super minions still in the base of CLG, so they're going to have to back off. ZionSpartan Got to be careful he doesn't get caught in towards that bush. He's just recalling, so he will get away. And there's the ward just after he left going down.
It's so hard to manage your waves when you're down 7 towers. You know, when ROccat says, I don't got time to clear that wave on top, they'll just let it bounce into the
Link's
turret.
in trouble.
Link's is caught.
Link's in trouble. The Zephyr will be enough to slow him down, but now Aphromoo may have to take this one for the team. Has to pop that ultimate. It's only going to last. It's a good shockwave, but again, there is no follow-up because nobody else is there. It does save Aphromoo for now, but that's really going to be a big ultimate down for when they fight in a moment.
I'm really surprised that they're not going for the dragon. I mean, Baron is up, of course. They're getting vision around that, but I think 5th Dragon is a little bit stronger than Baron in that.
Nah, they want the ultimate combo, dude. You buff up your minions with the Baron buff, then you swing around the Dragon, get 5 dragons, you base, buy some elixirs, get nice and big, and then you throw the game.
They want to put the rims on it, man. They want to style it out. They want to put like a system on that.
This is where you break their mental.
Yeah, and oh yeah, Janna also doesn't have the banner command. You need a little bit extra gold for that, so he's gonna go back and buy that. And
get that sweet triple split push going.
Oh baby, it's coming.
Overpow just teleported down there from where everybody else just walked. I think that's just like,
they really don't want to.
You know what? I've got this summoner spell. Why not? Yeah, they really didn't want to let CLG get their hands on that one. That's going to get easily picked up by ROccat. Or will it? They're actually baiting CLG here, I think. They're purposely not doing it because they could do that dragon very quickly.
Yeah, ROccat can just rotate mid here if they want to, but they really want that 5th buff.
Yeah, they want to fight CLG here.
Well, look at the bottom wave. Like, they have to deal with this. Like, CLG has to do this.
Overpow, can he pounce over the ledge? Instead, they're going to come in and make sure they secure it. Oh, ThinkCard just got melted trying to get close to it. DoubleLift's going to get caught out. Shockwave pulls him away, saves him from now. Quickly gets exhausted as Vander closes the gap. ROccat are getting picked off here, though. There is the dragon going down. Oh, look at that. Woolite just kites the lot.
I didn't even know you could flank from 2 sides, going from the pit and over the wall the way ROccat did that. You know, usually when you flank, you drag people out in the open and you spread around them. That was just beautiful. Tornado hits, charms, CC's DoubleLift, basically positions himself on the other end of the fight because he sees fighting going on the left side, and then Gnar jumps over, just hops him into the wall, and they take the game here. 5 dragon buffs, Baron buff, 1 tower.
I mean, Woolite just tanked them, the face tanked them. He didn't even kite them. It's just like easy. And there we go. Nexus goes down. ROccat with a strong first victory here. It is a best of 3 series, so it's not over yet, but a great win nonetheless. And CLG, they're going to have to think hard on exactly how they're going to take game 2.
Think hard for ThinkCard.
You see what I did there?
I got him for the not so quick fans out there.
Thanks. Thanks for making that a little bit more awkward, buddy.
Anytime, buddy.
What do we make of it, though? What do we see? Obviously, you're going to be playing CLG next year. There is obviously temporary substituting there with ThinkCard instead of Smithy, but what do we make of it overall? Because obviously Zion is his first game as CLG in that top lane with Dignitas last year.
I mean, it really just looked like ROccat called him on the 2v1. CLG was late to rotate, and they just messed up in a skirmish stop, and they just paid the price for it.
ROccat always turn up with a lot of support, that's for sure. They're throwing the shirts, the scarves, the hats, and suddenly everybody in the crowd is a ROccat fan.
They're following C9's footsteps here instead of the Air Force.
ROccat have done this way before C9. I can tell you that.
They're the OG Army guys.
They have been doing this for a while. So we're going to go towards the analyst desk to take us through that first win for ROccat.